What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Fans Hobby Destroyer, their version of a Masterpiece Super God Master Force Buster. So this is the Japanese version. This was actually said to be by G. Tony. He got it directly from Fans Hobby, so I guess they shipped it out pretty quickly. I'm getting my own copy from the Chosen Prime eventually. They're shipping very soon, but here it is. It looks really good in jet mode. I did do an unboxing. There's a little bit of setup to do out of box, but man, oh man, this is a good looking jet. There's the cockpit there with that translucent blue. There's a seat and, you know, some instrumentation there. That looks really good. This white surface is painted as far as I can tell, because I did get a little bit of a paint chipping on the bottom where it doesn't matter, but the gray paint you see here is paint. The silver here on the cockpit, I believe this is just a plastic color right here. That's not paint. The wings, I believe, are just red plastic with white paint or white tampo. Hard to tell, honestly, but on the bottom, the red here is paint with silver paint here, silver paint back here. We'll see this more in the robot mode, but the red and the white you see here is painted. The booster, which one of the things you got to do on a box, actually, which I'll mention now, is pull that booster outwards. The other thing that might happen is this might be out of place. You're just going to push this down and get that pushed into place. And then the wing is supposed to attach to this arm. So you can see there's two little tabs on that arm, and it goes up into the wing. So if you do all that, you'll get this kind of configured properly for jet mode, but it really does look great. Great looking jet. Let's come to the bottom. We'll open up the landing gear. The rear landing gear are pretty easy. I do recommend a spudger for this figure. There's a few places where you're going to need it, but this being one of them. There we go. Open that up. Same on this one. And then the front one is a little bit more challenging, so you're going to slide these apart. And again, you can use a spudger to get in between here. But these are actually a little challenging to slide open. I think a little bit of silicone would have helped here, but if you slide them as far as they'll go, and then you slide this piece out, you should get enough room to be able to lift out that landing gear. And then you can lift up on the wheel. Thankfully, that's a nice tight joint. Close that up, and then there you have the landing gear. Put this back down, make sure that wing is locked in place. And now it'll roll very nicely on those wheels. I do have a little bit, this sometimes comes loose. You can just push it back in. It does stay. I find it to be a little bit irritating because when you don't want it to come out, it does come out. But overall, a beautiful looking jet, and I love that they have the working landing gear. Now, you can open up this panel here, and that is for the Power Master here. Looks like this. It's got that nice shiny chrome. Here's the other side. We will transform it in a minute, but you're going to get it where the head is going to stick in like this. And then you're going to put this part down. And then this can either sit like this on the front, or if you don't like that, you can actually pull this, you can remove this. So I was a little scared the first time I did it, but you're basically going to pull straight out. There's a C-clip that attaches to here. It's a very secure C-clip. So you can just set this aside. Now you can have this look. I think this actually looks a lot better without that door on there. But nice that they gave the option. You can also take the guns here. Come to the bottom. There's a little tab slot right there. And you're just going to tab that into there. Same on this side. These guns, by the way, are just basically gray plastic. There's a little bit of silver paint right here. But that's it. Relatively plain guns, but they're sculpted nicely. And those are going to plug into there, and then now you can have this look, which is really good. I really like how this looks. Basically, I have two guns on each side. We also get an adapter piece. So There's 2 adapter pieces. This is for the Fexed Hobby display stand, which I believe is just Fans Hobby. I don't know why they call it Fexed Hobby, but this piece here is shaped this way. This is going to go in the front. See how there's a little lip there? That lip's going to go over this edge. So get that pressed onto there. This piece is going to go to the back, and you do have to close up the landing gear. So close these up. And then this one has a little rounded edge on one side. See right there? That's going to go over this rear piece here. So get this over these circular pieces here. And this one's a little harder to get fit. But there you go. So now you can see kind of fit over. And then we're going to bring in the Fexed Hobby display stand. Now in the instructions they show that there's 2 sets of these armatures, but you only get one. You don't get 2 like this. You get one short one, one long one. You really need 2 long ones, but you can make it work. I have it set up like this, and let's get it on here. So you're going to just match these up, and I have it perfectly set so that I didn't have to struggle with it before this. But there you go for this flight stand. It does work. You just have to get this configured perfectly, but it is a nice display option for this jet. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the MB-23 Starscream. You can see it's basically the same size, actually a little bit wider wingspan, a little bit longer to the end of the nose cone, and it's just a hair taller than MB-23, but it scales perfectly with Masterpiece jets, so that works for me. And because it's tradition and I want to have something from Super God Master Force, there it is next to the God Bomber repaint we got from TFCon. This is their Delta God Bomber, but looks really good. Scales well with the other Super God Master Force figures from Fans Hobby. Alright, now let's get Buster transformed into robot mode. So go ahead, we'll open this up and take out the Power Master. You can just set that aside. We're going to close this back up. Set that down there for now. Remove the guns and set those aside. Come to the bottom here. We can close up the landing gear. You can fold this landing gear back. So come to the backpack, pick this up. I'm going to open this up, come to the outside, flip these panels all the way around. Come to the top here, we can take the tail fin, flip that around. I probably shouldn't have put these all the way up, but now you can put those up. Take the rear fins and then fold those up like that. And then this can come and sit down on the front. It does actually tab in, so there's a slot for this armature to go in. Move that down. It is a firm click in there. There you go. So it should look like that. We'll come to the bottom here and we're going to unpeg the legs from here. Those are two tabs here and here that are holding these legs in. And rotate the legs up on this armature. Rotate it 90 degrees or 180 degrees. And then bring this back down. There's two tabs right here fitting right in to where you took it out. So flip this back over and tab it back in. And this is how it should be because that's the waist rotation. Fold the legs apart. They're just tabbed in right here. Come to the back. Open up this panel. There's a ever so slight click down like that. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's in the instructions, but I'm not really sure what it does, what the benefit of it is. And you can just kind of grab right there at the toe and pull this around. I will mention, just to be transparent, these ankle rotation pieces were a little bit on the loose side, so I did open this up and tighten the screw. That's all I had to do. Come to the bottom here, pull out the heel spur, extend the heel spur out, and then rotate that back. Close up this panel. All right, so that's one leg. I'll do the same thing on this side. We're now take care of this upper body section. So we're going to take the arms, they're on sliders here, so we're going to go up to there. And just a forewarning, when you're going back to vehicle mode, you don't want to slide these all the way down because you won't be able to transform it. There's a stopping point, and you can actually tell because it'll collide with where the legs are. Once you have the legs folded up here, you'll know where it is, but just remember, you don't want to slide those all the way down. Come to the inside here, you're going to fold out these ab pieces. And then we're going to take this, and there's a sequence of events here. So open up this little panel here, kind of feed that through to the other side, and just let that sit back there. Come to here, bring the head out of here. And again, you're going to feed this through the other side, so it ends up like that. Make sure this chest stays pulled all the way apart, otherwise you'll have a little bit of trouble. Fold the landing gear in, that's just going to hide away inside the chest. And now that we have all that, you can fold the nose cone in. Again, make sure this is pulled all the way out. Get this into here. That's going to sit into kind of his crotch area there. Then there's two tabs. You're going to get these two tabs on the shoulders plugged into this front piece, and try to make sure you don't collapse this chest while you're doing it. But basically line those up and get those plugged in. So it should look like that. And then we'll do this one as well. It's a little challenging because it seems like the alignment is not perfect, but get it. Come to the back here, you're going to take this panel. This is going to obviously be his neck. And you can see this one popped out. This head is on the sliders. You're going to slide that back. Just that much. And now we'll take care of his backpack, although a little bit happened without our knowledge. But you're basically going to bend here, and this is going to come down and sit. It can scratch this paint, so I would recommend don't close it all the way, or maybe put a piece of paper or something there, but basically bring those wings in so it looks like this. Now we'll take care of the arms. This one kind of took care of itself, but you're going to slide down on the shoulder. You're going to slide up. So you're going to hold it, but slide up on the forearm. So I'll do it again. Slide down on the shoulder, and then hold this. Slide up on the forearm, and that reveals your hands. All right, and there is Destroyer in his robot mode. Really nice looking. Let's put the cartoon image. I could find one. I don't know if I'll find an animation model, but at least I'll try to find a cartoon image. But he looks really good. He's got quite a bit of paint on him, that Fans Hobby style. So you got fully painted silver, metallic red, yellow. The purple is just plastic. The silver along the cockpit, which we saw in jet mode, so I'm not going to talk about too much here. White paint and silver paint, and then this kind of gray paint on the crotch. These silver accents on the thighs. Silver here on the shins, and then here in the middle. Feet are just gray plastic. The hands are just gray plastic. A little bit more of that gray paint here. The red, which showed up in the jet mode, shows up here, but it just looks nice as the shoulder pads. Here's the back. He does have some kibble on his back, but not sure if this is accurate or not. Probably not. But overall, pretty good looking version of Buster. Let's go over his articulation. The head is on a rotating swivel, but the rotating part goes way down and way up. So that really gives it a lot of articulation. And then the head itself can go up and down, can go side to side. You can rotate it all the way around. Is a pretty nice looking head sculpt overall. As far as the arms, you can rotate around on a friction joint, nicely toleranced. Arms can go in and out on this joint here. There is a panel, so if you lift up that panel, you can get the arms all the way up to there. There is a butterfly joint here, so you get an in and out butterfly on that shoulder, which is not typical for a figure like this. You have a elbow bend here. Sometimes this slides up on you, but you can slide it back down. Basically 90 degrees out of the elbow. For the hands, you have a rotation at the wrist, You do have individually articulated fingers. These three are, so yeah, they're all individual. And so they have 1, 2, 3 pins each, and then the thumb is on a ball joint, and it has a pin for the middle. And you can rotate that thumb. These are very nice hands. Pretty well done. As far as the waist, you have a waist rotation here. I don't believe you get ab crunches due to the design of this. Yeah, I don't think there's an ab crunch there. Hip skirts, we'll move out of the way. These are fully painted, by the way. I forgot to mention red and then the silver are painted. Legs will go up to there on a ratchet. Back to there on a ratchet. Out to the side on a ratchet. Rotation at the thigh at a cut joint. You have a 90-degree bend at the knee. Ankle tilts. It's on a ball joint, so you get rotation, side to side, forward and backward. Sometimes this heel spur will collapse on you. It's got a pretty good tolerance, but occasionally you'll accidentally collapse this. So just pull it back out. As far as the accessories, we do get the Power Master here. And we didn't actually transform him yet, so let's go ahead. It is basically the same transformation as other Fans Hobby. Unpeg the legs from the arms and then rotate them forward. And you're done. Pretty nice looking. The head can rotate around. It's got yellow paint, metallic blue, silver, silver, and then on the feet you got silver. Head rotates around. The shoulders are on a ball joint, so they'll go up and down and rotate around on that ball joint. You have a 90-degree bend at the, or not even 90, a little less than 90 at the elbow. You have legs on a double hinge. And if you go too far, you'll pop it off the ball joint. Not a big deal. You can just pop it back on. Back to there, forward to there. More than 90-degree bend at the knee. And yeah, there's that guy. I'll just set him aside here. So we also get his blasters here. If you open up these handles here, and these can be a little bit tight, so you just want to grab right there. These are on rails, so similar to other Fans Hobby figures, it will slide into the back of the hand, which is a nice system. I like that. Much more secure than a lot of other guns and easier to use. And there you go. That looks pretty good. And for quick size comparison, there it is next to another jet, the deformation space version of Thundercracker. You can see it's actually a little bit taller than, so it's pretty big bot mode, but very similar in both vehicle mode and bot mode to the Seekers from the Masterpiece scale. And for a comparison with a Super God Master Force figure, there is the Fans Hobby Delta Magnus, and looks good next to him. Pretty big next to this big guy, but there you go. So final recommendations on the Fans Hobby Destroyer. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. I really like this guy. I think they did a good job in both the robot mode and the vehicle mode. Accessories are nice. I like the Power Master. And they've been doing these for a while now, so nothing new there, but it does look good. The weapons work in both robot mode and vehicle mode. I always appreciate when there's storage. The weaker accessory is probably these flight stand adapters. You don't get the flight stand, and the adapters themselves are kind of wonky. And trying to get them set up on this, since it doesn't come with 2 of these armatures, is a little bit of a challenge. It works, but it's just a little bit of a challenge. And the fact that they don't give you a flight stand, I wish they just included it, but can't get everything. I do think that the articulation is pretty darn good, but there's a couple of places where he's a little bit on the fiddly side. He's got a ball jointed ankle, so you really want his weight forward on the ball joint. If it's back, it's just gonna, he'll fall backwards on that ball joint. Not a big deal, but that's a little thing to be watched out for. I still recommend it. I think Fans Hobby has been getting better and better with their releases. When the early releases in the Junior Headmasters, I wasn't a huge fan of some of those, especially Athena. But at this point, they are knocking it out of the park. Fans Hobby has really become a prolific third-party company, and they're doing figures that nobody else is doing. So they're not even competing with these other companies. So bravo to Fans Hobby. Thanks to G. Tony for sending this for review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.